Hello and welcome to the Beers with the Miner podcast, episode number 46. I am Mad Mumsy. For years now, I've been asked the same questions. How does a little thing like you drive those big trucks? You must be rich. How do I get a job doing that? But not everyone is cut out to be a miner. Why not? What is it really like and what does it take to thrive and survive in this industry? Hello and welcome to another Beers with a Miner audio blog. Just you and me. Now let's dig in. Get it? Dig. Mining. Aha! Crack me up. Well, thank you so much for listening and joining me on another podcast episode. It has been a while, but if you're new, welcome. And I must say I've had some new people connecting with me who are new to the episode and everything that Mad Mumsy is doing. I thought I'd do a quick little update. A few things have happened this week, in the last couple of weeks. I wanted to put pen to paper and then share it with you. And the first thing, if you follow me on social media, at Mad Mumsy on nearly everything, you would know that I was lucky enough to be nominated as a finalist in the 2018 Australian Podcast Awards. I was so, and still am, blown away that I was nominated. I entered an episode with Soraya, a young lady who is an apprentice, or she's done her apprenticeship now, underground electrician. And yes, an undergrounder, a real miner. You can listen to that episode at madmumsy.com/beers33. That's the number 33. Soraya de Arth. So I headed down to Melbourne for the finals, and it was a bit brisk and there was going to be hail and, an Antarctic chill, but it wasn't as bad as they were expecting, so that was good. And I headed to the awards with my cousin, Asha. Hello, Asha. It's the first time we've gone out as grown-ups, which is really interesting. And she is a businesswoman in her own right. I'll leave links in the show notes, which can be found at madmumsy.com/beers46, the number 46, to Asha's business, which is, it sounds a bit creepy, but it is what it is. Her business is about the funeral industry, and she's a leader in Australia and worldwide, and she's young and awesome and kicking butt, and especially in the cremation side of things. So you get funky jewellery and to put people's ashes in. Get it? Ashes? That's why it's still a bit strange, but not to her anymore. And she's really well known, and she's an entrepreneur just like me. So we had fantastic 4 days together, myself and her family and a couple of boys, and we went to the footy, Auskick, real football, Aussie rules, junior footy on a Saturday and Sunday morning, and they're vegetarians. So I was extremely excited to see bacon sandwiches on the barbecue on Sunday morning. They just laughed at me. So yes, we headed off to the awards, and I didn't win my category, and I waited with bated breath. I was so nervous, but mainly because I had to get up and, get up in front of everyone. It was being live streamed. There was a bit of a hiccup for a while, but by the time our category came on, the live stream was alive, and I didn't win, and it was kind of a big relief, really, because I didn't have to get up there. But I had whipped out a little bit of a thank you, and you know what? I've decided to say it anyway, because 46 episodes, a couple of years in, and I just wanted to show my appreciation to the people that have supported me. So if you will indulge, I'll quickly read what would have been my speech. But you only got a minute, and mine went for 2, I think. So I would have forgotten something, or I don't know. But I was only drinking light beers, so I had my shit together. Anyway, here it is. And I mean every word of this. Oh my God, this just feels wrong and weird. But okay, here we go. Congratulations to the other finalists. Your shows are great. And to the team at Australian Podcast Awards for all the work you're doing for podcasting here in Oz. And a big shout out to Dave Gertler. You've been a big influence on my journey. Thank you. The episode I entered was with an awesome young lady called Soraya de Arth, who worked with my partner underground and as an apprentice electrician for a few years. Thanks, Soraya, for sharing with us what it's really like down there, where you go to the loo, and how you went from saving turtles to being a coal miner, and why you drink gin. Thanks to my family for all your support and being the only listeners in the beginning. Dad and Linda, Mum and Mad Baz, Shannon and my grandies, Cody Lee and Rory. My daughter Zoe for saying, "Just push it, Mum," when I was hovering over the submit to iTunes button. It was April Fool's Day 2016. My coach and mentor, my sister, Drewy, aka Hard Hat Mentor. Are you ready to rock? Timbo Reed on Twitter for saying congrats on starting. Now just keep going. It's hard to believe that was over 2 years ago. And as a PS, he was the MC for the whole award, so it was like my hero was there. I was so happy to see him, and I got to have a good chat with him later and got a selfie. Bit creepy. Anyway, back to this. Sea Crew for putting up with me, supporting me, and giving me great content to talk about. At this one mine, this one cranky dozer driver, all anonymous, of course. Thanks to my girlfriend Cookie for the tunes, twanging away on his guitar, and Julia Hartman from Bantax Accounting for pushing me and then sponsoring the podcast. Especially thanks to you, my listeners. You are awesome. And to those of you who reach out saying how much the podcast is helping you, thank you. It really does keep me going. I'm humbled by your words. A huge thanks to my guests for having a few beers with Mad Mumsy and sharing their mining journey and how they handle living this lifestyle. Finally to my partner, my rock, the real miner. Because he works underground, that's why he's a real miner. I'm just a gravel scratcher. I really do appreciate and love you heaps. He doesn't do people much, so my cousin's here with me tonight. Thanks, cuz. So, in hindsight, I'm kind of glad I didn't win because that just sounds really weird. I would have said, thanks to my listeners and thanks to my sponsor and thanks to the people running the show and this is awesome. I'm going to have a drink. But there's no Forex Gold. Just for those of you, since beers with the miner, I actually drank Cascade Light. Yeah, it's a bit weird, hey? Now for a word from our sponsor, Julia Hartman and the Bantax Accounting Group. Julia's my awesome accountant. She's written 2 books with financial expert Noel Whittaker, and she's got a passion to help us miners make the most out of our hard-earned cash. She's got heaps of tips and make sure that we get every cent we are meant to get and is right on the ball with everything. If you head to bantax.com.au/miners, that's BANTACS, you can download a free booklet all just for us miners. And there's also a spreadsheet in there that helps you check off what tools you have for your trade, like your isolation lock, work boots, 7 shirts, all of these sorts of things, and you can weigh them up and it'll tell you if you qualify weight-wise to claim your trips out to work. And that's just one of the things that they've got over there. So I strongly urge you to head to bantax.com.au/miners and see what they can do and find your nearest office as we come up to tax time. They're really on the ball, know what's going on with the tax department, and there's heaps of other free information like property investing. If you really plan on doing some great things with your money, you want to do that, right? If you want to sell your house, can save a lot of money if you find out what to do first rather than in hindsight. And Julia, she'll, make sure you get it right. And if you do it wrong and then go and see her, she'll up you in the nicest possible way, because she really cares about us and wants us to keep our money and not give it to the tax department. Anyway, head over to bantax.com.au/miners and tell them Mad Mumsy sent you. The other thing that happened this week was that it was anti-bullying week. And it kind of struck a chord with me. I just wanted to say a few words about it, because I have seen on cruise across different sites where it can get a bit harrowing the way it's all fun and games till someone loses an eye, right? But it's also all fun and games until someone really can't handle everyone taking the piss out of them and putting shit on them. So I wanted to say this because I want us as workplaces to think about it, but also because I had a bit of an aha moment. On Facebook, on my high school page, there's a group, and there'd been a photo on there for ages of our class, and someone made a comment, and so, you start to see it again. And someone put on there, look at Mad Mumsy, look at Leanne. She really doesn't want to be there. And someone else said, well, I'm surprised she was, because she used to wag it all the time. And this was on social media. I'm like, what the fuck? Are you allowed to say that? I need a drink. Hang on. Cheers. Here's looking up your guilt. So I thought about it, and I'm like, yeah, well, I did basically wag half of year 9, and then I wagged the first Friday of year 10 and got busted and never did it again. And thank God I got busted, because, you got to go to school, right? But it made me think about, why did I do that? Because I was a good girl. I never did things wrong, And then I remembered about this one girl, and she was tall and skinny, and I was short. I was not fat by any means, but I was the total opposite of her, I saw her as being really pretty. I thought of myself as being really ugly and really short. I was actually the shortest kid in our school. And a little side note, when we first went to high school, when you go and you get your school books in the holidays, and I'd come out of year 7 into year 8, big day going up to school, and I stood next to who I found out later was a guy who was the tallest kid in the school, and I was about to be the shortest. So I thought, oh my God, everyone's so massive. But anyway, this girl, she picked on me, classic bullying, called me names, pushed me around, and just really made me feel smaller than I actually was, but small on the inside, and weak, and whatever I said was wrong. And it wasn't until this week, anti-bullying week, and after having been to the podcast awards and, flying on a plane, looking out at the clouds, thinking about the angels and having a chat and taking some awesome photos of clouds. My partner laughs, the real miner. He says, more cloud pictures, we've seen one cloud, you've seen them all, but no, not with the light reflecting that way. I'll put that picture in the show notes, madmumsy.com/beers46. So this week, anti-bullying week, made me, and that comment made me think about how that affected me. and how I just don't deal with confrontation very well. I've worked on it a lot over the years, and I don't like being questioned or tested, and I get I start getting upset and sad and emotional, and I'll cry. I'm a bit of a sook. I've always put it down to that, but it's only this week that I've thought that I'm blaming her. I'm going to have a drink. That makes me feel better. It makes me feel stronger that I have a reason. And so once you have a reason, then you can figure out how to fix it. And so I've made a few changes in the way that I'm thinking and what's going on. And I'm hoping that this is going to change a lot of things in my life. But I wanted to share it with you in case you too have struggled with bullying, or perhaps your kids are, or perhaps you're dealing with, take away the bullying word, perhaps getting harassed. We don't like that word either. But if people aren't making you feel good by what they're saying to you and how they're treating you, what can you do about it? How can we handle it? So I started thinking about what could I have done back then, and I really don't know the answer because I was young and I'm a lot older now, and most of it, to be honest, I've forgotten. But I feel the feeling of it, the emotion of it. And a lot of the people that reach out to me through the podcast, because they've heard the podcast, and they reach out to me via social media or via email, will say that they're struggling with crew politics and how mean people can be, either to them or to other people. So this feels like a bit of a sermon. I just watched the royal wedding with the preacher. He went on for 13 minutes about love and fire and stuff. It was at our wedding. It was awkward. It was a great speech, but it was a wedding. Anyway, I won't go on about that, so therefore I won't go on about this either. But I want to ask you, how has bullying affected you or those around you? Whether what if you're the bully? Are you mean to people at work? Are you mean to people in your family? You might not even think that you're mean. You might think it's funny, but how are they taking it? Have a little think about how we're interacting with each other, and we want to try and lift each other up and be supportive and make this world a lovely place, not a place that is harder for people and easier for others. Let's just make it freaking easier for everyone, right? Ease and flow, ease and flow. Of course, if you are struggling now, please, please, please get some professional help. Mad Mumsy, I am not anything professional. Everything that I say, and I've said this before, everything that I say is just from my experiences only. So please, there's so many different accessible support networks for you that you could get on your phone right now. Lifeline, Beyond Blue, Are You OK? And now there's Mates in Mining. Welcome, Mates in Mining are heading into our area here in the Bowen Basin. Looking forward to see them at my mine site soon, hopefully. When you do see people like that coming out to your site, they are making huge difference. And it's not just them, it's to the people on the speaking circuit, it's everybody. People that come out to your site that have a message and you have to go to, right? You don't get a choice, you have to go. Go there with an open mind. You just might hear one sentence that can change your life, or it can change someone else's life. Be it about how you drive on the road, if it's the coppers and that talking to you, or if it's someone that's lost a loved one, or if it's someone that's out there to talk about, if you're struggling, things that we can do. Go to those workshop meetings. They don't call them that. What are they? We just have to go. Call it that. Go there with an open mind, and if you hear other people poo-pooing it, oh, what a waste of fucking time, and say, well, at least we're out of the truck, and who knows, they might have something to say that will help us, or it might help our kids, our wives, or our hubbies, our workmate. You know, you might, everyone, 90% of your crew might listen to it and be fine, but there might be one person on your crew who was really struggling and was on the edge at that time and heard something special, and it just might have turned him around. So please, stay safe, be real, be special, and have fun, for we only live once. And as usual, share with your mates. Please subscribe so that you'll never miss an episode. Find your favourite podcast app or head to madmumsy.com/beers. And hit me up on social media at madmumsy on everything. That's MADMUMZIE. Thank you guys, and I really do appreciate all of you that are reaching out to me lately. It inspires me to keep going, and I'll try to be a bit more regular. I know there's a long time between drinks, that last one, right? But if you're new, you can just listen to them all. You won't even know. Okay, stay safe, be real, be special, and have fun, my peeps.